currency of God's kingdom. Is it the US dollar? Is it the Chinese yuan? No, it is gold and silver. This may seem like an abstract concept, but really it's a profound truth that underpins the financial fabric of our world. In the kingdom of God, the currency isn't something that's printed on paper or minted into coins. It's not dictated by market trends or political decisions. Instead, it's something timeless and enduring: gold and silver. Now you might be wondering, why does this matter to me? Well, it matters because we're at the precipice of a seismic shift in global finance. The way we understand and use money is evolving, and this change will have far-reaching implications. It's not just about economics. It's about power, influence, and the future of our world. Why is this important? It can determine whether or not you and your generation will strive in the new economy or experience the fate of poverty. To understand the future, we must first delve into the past. Human history is a testament to the constant ebb and flow of power and currency. As the tides of influence shift, so too does the currency that underpins that influence. Let's journey back to the 17th century when the sun never set on the British Empire. As the empire expanded its territories across the globe, the British pound sterling became the world's dominant currency. Commerce, trade, and wealth flowed through Britain, and the pound sterling was the currency that oiled the wheels of this vast empire. But as with all great powers, the empire's sun began to set, and with it, the dominance of the pound sterling waned. Fast forward to the 20th century, we see the rise of the United States as a global superpower. Post-World War II, the world was in ruins, and the United States, relatively unscathed, emerged as the world's economic powerhouse. The US dollar became the new global currency, the lifeblood of international trade and finance. This shift was far from coincidental. The United States' economic, military, and political power directly influenced the dominance of the dollar. But history is a cycle, and we find ourselves on the precipice of another shift. As the 21st century unfolds, we see the increasing influence of China on the global stage. China's rapid economic growth and expanding global influence hint at a future where the Chinese yuan might challenge the US dollar's dominance. This is not to say that the dollar will fall overnight or that the yuan will suddenly rise to supremacy. These shifts are gradual, often taking place over decades, even centuries. But the signs are there for those willing to see. China's Belt and Road Initiative, its increasing influence in global institutions, its technological advancements, all point towards a future where the yuan might become a significant player in global finance. But why does this matter? Why should we care about which currency is dominant? Because shifts in global power and currency affect everything from international trade to the price of goods in your local supermarket. They influence interest rates, inflation, and investment opportunities. They can determine whether a country prospers or falls into economic hardship. History has shown us that shifts in global power are often accompanied by shifts in currency. And we see this pattern unfolding today. The stage is set, the actors are in place, and the next act in the drama of global power and currency shifts is about to begin. The question is, are we prepared for what's coming? In today's economic climate, we're seeing uncommon alignments between unlikely global powers forming unions. This isn't some surprise twist in a political thriller, but the reality of our global economy. Take, for instance, the unexpected partnership between Russia and Saudi Arabia. Historically, these two oil-rich nations have been competitors, not comrades. But in recent years, they've found common ground in their shared interest to stabilize global oil prices, forming a coalition that's reshaping the energy market and, by extension, the global economic landscape. Or consider the burgeoning relationship between China and Africa. This isn't a union based on geographical proximity or shared cultural heritage, but on mutual economic advantage. China, with its insatiable appetite for resources and markets for its goods, finds in Africa a continent rich in untapped potential. In return, African nations get much-needed infrastructure development and investment. This dynamic duo is setting the stage for a shift in economic influence towards the East and the global South. Even within Europe, we're seeing shifts. The United Kingdom's departure from the European Union, a move that many thought would isolate the nation, has instead sparked a series of new trade agreements with countries like Japan and Canada. It's a reminder that in the world of economics, Change often breeds opportunity. These are just a few examples of the unexpected alliances being formed in our global economy. Each one is unique, but they all share a common thread. They're indicative of a shift in global power and currency. The world is becoming increasingly interconnected, and economic influence is no longer the exclusive domain of Western powers. We're moving towards a multipolar world where economic might is spread across various power centers. These alliances are not just about the here and now. They're about the future, about positioning for the next big shift in global power and currency. And as these alliances continue to form and strengthen, they're setting the stage for a transformative shift in currency. These alliances are setting the stage for a transformative shift in currency. So, how do you prepare for what's coming? The first step is understanding the value of gold and silver. Gold and silver have been the timeless symbols of wealth and the de facto currency of God's kingdom. They have survived countless currency shifts throughout history and continue to hold their value today. Unlike fiat currencies, gold and silver cannot be printed at will, making them immune to inflation and economic downturns. What does this mean for you? Simply put, investing in gold and silver is a smart move to hedge against the uncertainty of the future. But don't just take my word for it, look at the historical data and draw your own conclusions. But investing in gold and silver is just one part of the equation. If we want to truly prepare for the coming shift, we need to educate ourselves. We need to understand how the economy works and how these shifts in power and currency affect us on a personal level. Now, you might be thinking, I'm not an economist, how am I supposed to understand all this? And you're right, economics can be complex, but it's not impossible to learn. There are countless resources available to us, from books to online courses to podcasts and more. And yes, videos like this one. It's time we take control of our financial future. It's time we stop relying on others to make these decisions for us. We need to be proactive, to study, to learn, and to understand. And this isn't just about us, it's about our families, our children, our grandchildren. We have the power to position them for success in this new economy. We have the power to ensure they don't just survive, but thrive. We have a responsibility not just to ourselves, but to future generations. We need to prepare them for a world where the US dollar or the Chinese yuan might not be the dominant currency. We need to teach them the value of gold and silver and the importance of understanding the economy. This might seem daunting, but remember, every journey starts with a single step, so start small. Buy a book on economics, listen to a podcast, watch a video. Take that first step towards understanding. And as you learn, don't keep this knowledge to yourself. Share it with your family, your friends, your community, because the more people understand about the economy, the better prepared we all will be for the coming shift. Understanding and preparing for this shift can determine whether you and your generation will thrive in the new economy or be left behind. So let's choose to understand. Let's choose to prepare. Let's choose to thrive. In conclusion, the currency of God's kingdom, gold and silver, holds the key to understanding the coming financial shift. We've journeyed through the annals of history, tracing the ebbs and flows of global power and the transformative shifts in currency that have often paralleled them. We've also delved into the contemporary economic climate, highlighting the unusual alliances forming between disparate global powers. These observations aren't mere history lessons or economic analyses. They are vital clues, signposts pointing towards the impending currency shift. The essence of this journey is preparation, a call to reorient our understanding of money to embrace the currency of God's kingdom, gold and silver, as the true wealth. This shift could be the dividing line between prosperity and poverty for you and your generation. The clock is ticking, the change is coming. I invite you to study with us to understand how to position yourself and your family to win before it's too late.
Whether you choose to visit our YouTube page for enlightening resources or join us in person at our welcoming space at 5237 West Diversey Avenue in Chicago, we are here for you. It's time to discover what you've been missing.